it should not be a lecture that is given only to women. Menstruation. Menstruation. What is menstruation? What is menstruation? Whether it's something that must be taught to only boys and leave girls. So I'm ready for my lecture. I'm starting now. If I want to wait for you to share up to 150, I think we'll not do the lecture. Those who will not come early will go and watch back again at YouTube. It's a class that we have to start. So I'm starting now because I told you that in 8:30 I'll start. I have 4 minutes more to start, but the lecture must begin now. So by next week, I'll do a Zoom lecture so that the questions you have, it will be question and answers time. That is all we are going to do so that we can get this thing done well. Very soon, we are still on the duties. We'll move from the duties and we'll get into the marriage proper again. So thank you very much for joining me. Let me say that ginger is here. Order for your ginger. Now we be. Now feel it trebia. Let me drink what I was drinking. Look, it's not easy. Even choosing what to wear to come and lecture was not easy at all. I want to say thank you to my wife. The suit and the dresses are lined up, but because I was not in touch properly to ask what I'm supposed to wear, it was not easy at all for me to wear. And my A2 was not around. So today I was just here moving up and down, didn't know what to wear until I went back for what I have worn already. You know, that's what the thing is. But I think it looks good on me. I mean, this has been what I've been wearing today. I greet you, Sokoima, wherever you are. So today I'm talking about the importance of menstruation. But what is menstruation? Menstruation. M-E-N-S-T-U-R-A-T-I-O-N. Menstruation. They started with men. Menstruation. Menstruation. So what is menstruation? Or people will call it period. I mean, we have made it periods, a period, a time that something happens to the body. It is said that it is a normal vaginal bleeding that occurs as part of normal vaginal bleeding that occurs. Normal vaginal bleeding that occurs. It means that there are some bleeding that they are not normal. Keep that in your mind. So it is a normal vaginal bleeding that really occurs at a particular place at a particular time or where occurs as part of a woman's monthly cycle. So women have what we call monthly cycle. Men don't have monthly cycle. Hello there. Women have monthly cycle. Men don't have monthly cycle. So when we talk about menstruation, it means that it's a normal bleeding that occurs as part of a woman's monthly cycle. Every month, your body prepares for pregnancy. Now watch the letter here. My paper is not here. Watch it here carefully. Listen carefully. A woman comes into this world to come and okay. How many eggs is a woman born with on earth? Because you see, the question I'm asking you understand. It is said that at birth, when you come as a female, I'll go back to the menstruation, but I want to give you what causes the monthly cycle that happens in the life of a woman. So at birth, the normal female ovaries contains 1 to 2 million octets of eggs. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. These are old things we learn. Nyama yesua che, and it's in my cap. What I say here, at the end will be team. So this eggs you have in you as a woman, you have 1 to 2 million that is produced, and in that production, a woman is capable, or a female is capable of making eggs. So these things you have is what makes eggs. And kosia ewa widium. Men don't produce eggs, women do. And in fact, they are continuously declining in total number of eggs each month. By the time a girl enters their puberty, only about 25% of her life total eggs in the pool are remain. When we say puberty, sorry. So a school of thought one time I read said that every woman comes with close about 400 eggs when you are born. So if you have that number of eggs, it means that you have the right. Some would say only about 500 will be ovulated out of the 300,000 eggs that you have after puberty. You have just about 500 of them that will go through ovulation during a woman's reproductive lifetime. So you have more than 300,000 opportunities of eggs in your life as a woman. But within the 300,000, it is believed that 400 to 500 will go through ovulation. Do you get what I'm saying? So what is ovulation? Maybe it will help you. I'll come into ovulation totally today. But it is the maturing of the egg. That is called ovulation. Let me go back. Menstruation is the monthly cycle of every woman. Every woman goes through a cycle every month, which is the normal bleeding of every woman through the vulva, or what you might call the vagina. So we are treating menstruating today, and we are saying that it's the duty of a husband to understand the menstrual cycle of the wife. Yesterday, I told you I would treat menstruation. It has just become that anytime we want to treat menstruation, we treat it only for the women. But some of us were fortunate to learn menstruation as men. I learned menstruation. And whatever I learned is still what I'm teaching. So I'm saying that menstruation is a cycle, or is the bleeding. In the first place, it is a regular bleeding that occurs, and it's a normal bleeding, not because you are wounded, not because something has gone there, but it is a bleeding that every woman goes through it, and it is normal. 1 to 2 million octaves are, which are what really causes you to be able to produce the eggs. When you are giving birth to, you have it. And as you grow to puberty, it is said that your 300,000 eggs that are there, the octaves that are there, they give you opportunity to form, to have close to 400 to 500 eggs, which are supposed to go through ovulation. And I told you, what is ovulation? Ovulation is when a matured egg releases from the ovaries. When a matured egg releases itself from the ovary, the egg then moves down to the fallopian tube where it can be fertilized. So that is what we call ovulation. I will come back to explain ovulation to you. But we should understand what menstruation is. We can only give a good look and understanding to menstruation when we understand what ovulation is. Share the page to a friend. Please share a page to a friend who believes that his menstrual cycle is not normal. And we will treat all of them today because you need to learn it. So a man must learn menstruation. A woman must learn menstruation. Why? As part of the marriage style, a man must understand the menstrual cycle of the wife. And a woman must also understand her own menstrual cycle so you can present it. Why? Because the gate to procreation, where you are now responsible and your duty is to take care of your husband, there is a particular need that must be met, which is going to be the expansion of the family. And the gate of procreation is in the hands of women. God brought you as a different person for us. Yesterday, I told you that no woman, we also learn self-branding. And I said, don't brand yourself to suit your husband. Your husband must adjust to accept your beauty and your enhancement. But your husband should not be the one telling you what you are supposed to look like before they can have you as a wife. Don't go there. Because there are people today who are going to shave their hair, like yesterday I said, just to suit their husband. And that is what we got to today. And today, I promised I was going to teach menstruation for both boys and girls. So give me your ears for seriously 30 minutes. So that those of you who have challenges about menses, I'll give you opportunity to drop questions and I'll answer for you today. Today, I'll go to the platform right now to go and read messages. Specifically, if you have challenges on menstruation. Specifically, if there are problems on your menstrual cycle. Because keep this in your head. If you have irregular menstruation, you cannot have children. If you don't menstruate, you can't have children. Why? What is menstruation? It is the regular and normal bleeding of every woman. So every woman must bleed. When you are born as a female, you come with some particular eggs that are close to 300,000 at puberty. 500 of them become ovulated. And that ovulation is what breaks down to give you what we call menstruation. So menstruation is when bleeding is taking place in your life. You need to bleed. Girl, if you don't bleed, don't be happy. Unfortunately, it's not everybody that bleeds to menstruate. So you ask, should every woman bleed before it means they are menstruation? Do you understand? We are not talking about the bleeding where people have had sex. I say, should every woman bleed as menstruation? Because we heard that some people don't bleed. There are some that they say during their menstruation, blood doesn't flow. That they are in a minority. They have some flowing, but they don't see it as flowing. So what we are talking about is that vaginal bleeding between periods is not usual as normal. So you are bleeding. There are people who will bleed. And when we talk about menstrual bleeding, you should know the distinction between when you are bleeding from your vagina and this one too, you are menstruating. So if you bleed and it is not menstruation, you should know. So you can be bleeding and it is not menstruation. That one is sickness. But I'm saying that menstruation is when a woman is bleeding and it is a cycle. The cycle that is happening is that every woman at puberty, where you become a matured girl, you begin, I think the youngest person that have started menses earlier is 9 years. Yes, in Ghana, I think it was 9 years. 9 years. Yes, my memory serves me right. It's 9 years. So when we say what is menstruation, the first thing in your mind is that people call it period, but it is a normal vaginal bleeding that occurs as part of a woman's monthly cycle. Every month your body prepares for pregnancy. Every month you are ready to get pregnant. Every month, so anytime you see bleeding, thank God you are fertile. You can have a baby. And thank God in the name of Jesus. So don't regret bleeding. Don't curse your bleeding. Don't do negative things to stop your bleeding. Immediately you see bleeding, it means that you are prepared to be pregnant. No, they are not getting it. Tie. So obako efichira enye time. Obako efichira enye ade eye fin. Enye moja fin. Efichire kwado nye moja fin. Obabu di nsa enye ade bone. What I say? They have made menstruation like it's evil, it's satanic, it's demonic, it's nasty. Hello, menstruation is not nasty, it's not demonic. It is the opportunity for you to know that I am able to procreate. I believe that when you see your first menses, you want to lift your voice to God and say, thank God you made me a woman. And this flowing of my blood is an opportunity for me to make babies and fill the earth. I am a mother. Once the blood flows, tell yourself, I am a mother preparing to carry a seed to fight and crush the head of the serpent. Listen to me carefully. The Bible says that when God was pronouncing the curse on the woman, he says, your seed shall crush the head of the serpent. The seed is the child. He says you will go through pain to deliver. So preparation for the sun to come and crush the head of a serpent is not easy. Don't take your menstruation for granted. Don't. The questions, I've seen the questions are dropping. I'll tackle questions to your menstruation. And I want all of us to understand what menstruation is. I say it is vaginal bleeding that occurs in every woman every month. It's not every day. It's not every week. It's every month. Some will count their months in weeks, accepted. But it has to happen with a particular regulation, monthly. When you menstruate more than 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in a month, there's problem. It might not be called menstruation. That could be bleeding. But when we talk about vaginal bleeding, which is associated with menstruation, it is a sign of preparing you to be what? Pregnant. So smile to it. It occurs every month. The uterus, or what you will call the womb, sheds its lining. It sheds its lining. Those eggs are what they break down. So menstrual blood is partly blood and partly tissue from the inside of the uterus. So it is not like something has cut you and blood is flowing. So menstrual blood comes with tissue. Why? Because what has broken down was an egg that was fertilized. And when they are fertilized, they are supposed to meet a spermatozoa. And that sperm will now go back and build the being, which is called the fetus, in the uterus or in the womb. So the lining will shed because it never met any sperm to cook it. I use the word cook every time. So menstruation in the first place is where an egg is prepared for pregnancy. So se umoja no obabu ninsa na che se or hihye kwan so ama wanyem afafu am wanyem. We spoke yesterday that childbirth control is always by the woman. So I have my wife. As me, I sit here now. Let me take off my spectacle. Me, George Lutrot. I don't have a monthly cycle. Fire, oh, fire. Wear back your space. What I mean is that I don't have a day that I carry what can impregnate you and what cannot impregnate you. Unfortunately, is a woman. Unfortunately, is a woman. So the gate of procreation, the one who gives you right to have babies, is a woman. I carry the seed. I don't have a timetable on it. But the woman has a timetable and she needs to understand the timetable very well so that she can be able to allow childbirth. We learned yesterday that you need to plan, and family planning is not a pill. It is not a pill that we swallow. It is planning. You need to plan. So once you enter into marriage, it's the duty of the woman to plan their pregnancy before marriage and during marriage. So during counseling, we plan when we want to have a child. I told you yesterday that it is one of the most painful things that happens to every wife is when you enter into marriage with pregnancy. Because there are times that you don't enjoy the excitement of the marriage anymore. Because your trimester, your first trimester becomes a deadly weapon to you. Those who vomit will vomit. Those who swallow, my God. There are some people, their faces with pregnancy can cause a man to lose erection. Because their face become very gaseous. But menstruation is an opportunity for you to be pregnant. A man must understand the menstrual cycle. A woman must understand the menstrual cycle. So you cannot be a husband and think that the responsibility of the menstruation of your wife is your wife's private affair. Menstruation is not a woman's private affair immediately when she becomes a wife. Is somebody understanding me? Learn. So menstruation must be learned by both parties. A man must learn menstruation. A man must also understand what menstruation is. Our focus is that the duty of a wife in marriage is that the husband must understand what is menstruation. And there are so many things that are associated with menstruation. There are mood swings. They are part of menstrual because the flow of the blood doesn't come easily. Because of the tissues that you find within the blood, they are what we call the menstrual cramps. So when the cramps are coming, women don't feel easy. Is somebody understanding me? They don't feel easy at all. It becomes very, very difficult. And usually in that difficult stage, if you don't have the heart to understand them, you might begin to think otherwise. But when we all understand that it is a process, it is a stage, and every woman goes through it every month, I think a husband will understand the game. And when a husband understands the game, it makes things go faster for all of us. So men must learn menstruation. Women must learn how to explain themselves. We know some will exaggerate. Some too have serious dysmenorrhea, which is painful menstruation. I'm not here to bore you with a lot of medical terms. I need to explain the thing for you to understand. I will get a medically explained one, but this is the social corporate responsibility for all of us to understand what menstruation is. Bleeding, vaginal bleeding that occurs monthly in the life of every woman. Your responsibility is first to understand yourself that you are a woman. And for that matter, if you want to have a child, you need to understand what your menstrual cycle is. And when you understand your menstrual cycle, that is when you are able to explain it to your husband. But today, all of us are learning it. Husbands are learning. Husbands are learning. Wives are shaping their mind because most women know menstruation, but just that they don't know what a cycle is. So, as the duty of a wife towards a husband is to be able to explain to your husband your menstrual cycle, when you can get pregnant, so that the planning of the pregnancy becomes both of you your agenda. A man must know when they can impregnate you. Remember, 3 types of pregnancy: unwanted pregnancy, unplanned pregnancy, and planned pregnancy is what I have learned, and that is what I work with. Planned pregnancy is when a woman knows a menstrual cycle and can even go to a gender charter like me to know whether they want to have a boy first or a girl first. So gender discussion is also done. It's part of counseling. Would you want to have a boy first or want to have a girl first? And based on that particular thing, we check your menstrual cycle, whether you are 28, you are 35, whatever cycle you carry. That is how we are able to determine your boy-girl child production within your ovulation period. So the woman needs to understand her menses, and it is her duty to explain her menstrual cycle to the husband. So you need to have a lecture with your husband as part of the marriage rules. Let him understand what menstruation is. But today, we are teaching all of you. So men too to have knowledge about menstruation, so that when they are explaining to you what menstruation is, you understand. There are men that when women are going through menstrual cramps, they get offended. That's one. But you need to love and understand your wife when she's going through the phases of her menstrual cramps. It's painful. You see, it's so painful to the extent that the drugs that you take, the painkillers you take, when they are for the body, it doesn't affect the abdomen where the cramps are happening. So usually drugs are given directly to help the area that the cramps are happening. Why? Because those with dysmenorrhea is so painful. Painful menstruation cannot be a joke. So you have a beautiful, nice girl, but she has a gift of painful menstruation. And when it comes, you will run away. You will feel sad for them. But it's for a period, and it is part of womanhood. We cannot feel what you feel. So when my wife is menstruating and she's going through pain, I can't feel what she feels. But there are times that some women, everybody and their style. And learn this thing to your husbands. Husbands, listen, wives, every woman and what their menstruation does to them. There are some that their knees become so weak that they can't do anything. There are some that they are so tired they've not done anything. So in during those time of menstruation, understand the menstrual cycle of your wife so you can be of a better support than a complainer. I'm explaining menstruation for the men and women so that we will know that it's part of the package of the marriage. It is one of the channels by which we can be able to have a child. But before that time, there are things that women go through. Some have serious abdominal pain. They can't even stretch. This is why I don't support what men can do, women can do. I don't support it. No, I don't. I don't. Because you see, if we don't understand that the women have a different mechanism, they were created in a different way. They were brought to us to be celebrated and to be enjoyed. And we should understand their chemistry that it's not like us. I don't go through any monthly mood swings. I don't have it. It can't stay with me. It can't. If I'm sick, I'm sick. If I have toothache, I have toothache. If I have pain, abdominal pain, I have. That's it. But I'm talking about the woman that in the marriage cycle, the man must understand that there is a phase which is called vaginal bleeding, which normally is called menstruation, comes with some particular form of mood swings and abdominal pain. This pain varies. Woman, watch it here. It is your responsibility to understand what pain you go through and channel the pain to your husband. Let him understand that you are suffering from something called dysmenorrhea. Let him understand that you have painful menstruation, that no painkiller resolves it, but sleeping. Do you get what I'm saying? So once I understand my wife, that every month there is a particular moment in her life that she will need 2 days of total rest, that 2 days I become the product to help the house. It is not a time for me to complain. Only stupid men will tell their friend, now you know, hey, Nadia Nabo, you are a stupid man, because she was going through it before she came to marry you. You are not the cause of her pain. But she's become a wife and has a husband. So you need to assist her and support her. Maybe when she was not married, at her menstrual period time when she's going through pain, a friend comes home to come and support her, to wash her things, to do some things for her. Now that she doesn't have, I don't expect my wife who is going through pain to force and wake up from bed to come and give orders in the kitchen. The day she goes through pain, I need to learn how to manage the home until she recovers from the pain, her menstrual pain. This is why your husband must understand menstruation. Your husband must understand your mood swings. Because there are men who don't understand your mood swings. Now then when women say, why is your face like this? My friends are coming here. So I don't welcome friends when my wife is menstruating because of a mood swing. My wife's menstrual cycle and her mood swing is not an announcement to the public. I understand what my wife is going through. So, between what we call spousal secret under the law, it is not a public notice. If she's supposed to do something and she's not able to do it, I find a way to cover up for her. This is why I am the husband, the head of the house. If you are supposed to assist her with exercise, abdominal exercise before her menstruation time, you want to do that as a husband to assist your wife. Understand the menstrual cycle of your wife. Yesterday I told you, learn how to buy a pad. If my wife was buying pad for herself before I met her, but once she became a wife, I should know the type of pad she uses and I buy for her. They menstruate every month. So 12 months. If she does 5, she menstruates 5 days every month. and every month she changes her pad in a day, 3 times heavy flow, or later day she does, maybe from the beginning she's a light flow person, in the middle she does 2 times, so she changes her pad 2 times. So you are multiplying the parts, that if she's doing 5 days and she's changing 2 times, 2 times 5 is 10. If she's changing 3 times, 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm buying a monthly pad for her. Some pack contains 24, some contains 35, some contains 12, some contains 10. So if I'm buying a pad for my wife, the one that looks okay, I am buying it and calculating that she should not get short of menstrual pad. She should not. You need to understand your responsibility as a husband, that buying pad for her, know the pad she's using. She shouldn't come to marriage and come and change her pad. Gone are the days doing the mess. You know, when you're going to get married, they add the list, and those times they were not using sanitary pad. There's a cloth that they are supposed to wash. You add it. It is prepared. You buy and add it to a marital things in a traditional marriage. But thank God they are the tampons. Thank God they are the menstrual pad. Thank God there are so many things they use now. As for toiletries, I don't recommend for any woman to use, because of the particles that it forms after the menstruation comes. You know, the blood might be soaked. So let's go for sanitary pad. It shouldn't be an excuse for a man not to be able to provide money for sanitary pad. And don't think that your wife is working, so she's supposed to buy sanitary pad by herself. Don't do it. Be a blessing to the bleeding that is coming. Give them something that will make them enjoy the pain when they are bleeding. So menstruation is when vaginal bleeding takes place monthly, and it's a cycle. When we say something is a cycle, it means that it comes continuously. So we have 28 people, we have 35 days people, and all of these people have it. Now, I'm not going to your medical science to go and explain to you what brings 25, what brings 35, what brings 28. But simply put, a woman must bleed every month. And a man must understand that the bleeding of your wife is what connects to you having a child. So, within our planning and our responsibility, I am feeding you by food. I am feeding you by sexual intercourse. It is true that means that I'll make babies. Hello? I told you yesterday that the way they serve the food, the way you eat it, bring the excitement. But sexual intercourse is not only for pleasure, it's also for procreation. And the procreation happens once every month. Hello? Procreation happens once every month. No woman gets pregnant twice in a month. You get pregnant once in every month. And how to get pregnant is understanding your menstrual cycle. So once all of us want a baby, we should understand what menstruation is. Period. Teach your son, teach your daughter what menstruation is now. Because we are getting tired of men blaming women for not having children. You know, every time there's a problem, a mother-in-law is taking a daughter-in-law to a place. Once the daughter-in-law knows that she has what we call irregular menstruation, challenges of menstruating. So understand your menstrual cycle before you get married, so you can advise yourself on what you are going through. Your 300 to 400, 500 eggs that are in you. It means that before you get married to me, you started menstruating maybe at 10 years and you married at 30. Calculate that if I'm breaking 1 egg every month times 12 is 1 year. So if I break 12 eggs every year and I'm multiplying 12 by 10, 12 by 10 is what? Is 24. So if 10 plus times 3, so 24 times 3 is 30 years. So I've menstruated for 30 years. I've menstruated for, yes, I started menstruating maybe at 10. Let me use 10 years. Or let me use 10 years, for example, just for calculation. I started menstruating at 10 years. Now I am 30 years. It means I'm menstruated for 20 years. And every year I break 12 eggs. If I break 12 eggs every year, and I'm having close to 500 eggs, 400 to 500 eggs, and I'm breaking 12 every year is 1 year. So 112. 12 times 10 is 10 years. 12, 10 is what? 24 or 240. 12 times 10 is what? 120. Thank you very much. So 12 times 10 is 120. So I'm breaking 120. Is that what I'm talking about? I get in a calculation. You getting the thing? So you break 120. So if you have done 30 years, if you have menstruated for 20 years, then you are 120 times 2 is what? 240. So if you came with 500 eggs, 500 ovulated eggs, and you have done 240, then you are left with 240 more. So you cannot be in marriage and say you don't have eggs anymore. Stop condemning yourself. You are not barren. My sister, you are not barren. You can produce a child once you are menstruating. We need to check what is happening because you are moving straight ahead. 240. Thank you very much for the calculation. You are moving straight ahead with the eggs into the fertilized place, into the fallopian tube area. Fertilization has taken place. When it doesn't meet any sperm, then it breaks down, becomes bleeding. So if you want to get pregnant, you need to understand your menstrual cycle. So we need to plan when we want to have our first child. So husband and wife, we are married. We say the first year of the marriage, we are not financially stable. We are not settled very well. So second year of the marriage, we want to have a child. Case closed. So we got married 2010. And I want my wife to get pregnant 2012. It is not the pressure from the public. When is your wife getting pregnant? It is not it. But during the time, the 2 years we are preparing to be able for my wife to get pregnant, you know, in my office in counseling, you don't start medical screening for pregnancy when you have a husband. Whilst you are a single girl, you should know your pregnancy status. Medically, we say babies are for bad girls, fibroids are for good girls. I won't discuss fibroid today, but begin to understand what your cycle is. You need to have time with a gynecologist so that before you find a husband, you understand what it means with your cycle. Are you 3 days? Are you 2 days? What is the possibility of you not having a child? What is the possibility of your infertility? With the signs and symptoms of infertile barrenness, you need to know them before you get to somebody's son. You are not supposed to go and disclose your abortion record to your husband. Only foolish girls do so. At best, your abortion record can be told to a professional counselor and a doctor, which is an information between you and your gynae, not an information between you and your husband. Because no man comes to tell you the number of girls they have impregnated and done abortion for them. So be wise, think. Let your husband understand your menstruation. Why? So they can support you during your cramps, your pain, and then planning towards pregnancy. So when we come and we talk about menstruation, watch it here. So menstruation in its own way is vaginal bleeding. But within the menstrual cycle, there's something called ovulation. What is ovulation? Ovulation is where I said earlier on that the same egg now go through fertilization, ready to meet a spermatozoa to form a beam. So we say we are getting pregnant 2 years' time. In 2 years' time, I want you to be pregnant so that our firstborn will be born in 2012. What month do you want us to have our firstborn? What is the gender of our firstborn? How is your menstrual cycle? You get a gynae, you get a gender charter, a counselor. Then we continue postmarital counseling. We decided to have a boy first, so we'll start. Now, one day is when we get pregnant. Men must know the strength of their sperm. The strength of your sperm is the active in your when we take your spermatozoa, the activeness of the sperm, their tail and their head. That is for a lecture for the men. I'll come and do that. The sperm must swim. So the sperm needs a head and a tail. There are times that under the microscope, we see sperm that the sperm has a head, no tail. Some has a tail, no head. And they are supposed to swim to go and hit the egg. So usually the sperm is short. We are able to measure the distance and the strength in your testicles pushing the sperm to go and meet the egg. You need to shoot at the egg. So every woman has a time which we call ovulation. And I'll give you the ovulation chart as time is up. Time is up. So menstruation is bleeding from the vagina. And it is a medium by which one is ready to be pregnant. Once you are married as a woman, it is your responsibility to prepare yourself. Preconceptional care. Preconceptional care is the basic thing that every mother must know for the daughter. This is not for nurses. It is not for medical practitioners. It's called preconceptional care. Everybody who gives birth to a daughter must know what preconceptional care is. And it is passed on. It's an education that we pass it on. So as a mother, from your mother, they teach you preconceptional care. And within the preconceptional care, the way you manage yourself during menstruation so that you don't soil yourself. What materials you use for menstruation. How you wash yourself during menstruation. What you should understand about the bleeding of the blood that is coming. The color of the blood that you flow when you're menstruating. What is in the blood? Are they heavy clots or they are just particles that are coming through it? Because the blood is not like the blood that you are flowing from your finger. It's a blood with tissue in it. The number of days one will go through their menses varies. Some people do 5 days. Some do 3 days. Some do 2 days. Each of them, immediately you see your menarche, which is your first day of menstruation. Once you do it 3 days, 2 days, 5 days, 7 days, you need to seek for medical attention to understand if it is normal. Don't take this for granted. Don't make it a joke. Don't think because you are a virgin, you don't need these things. Only foolish people will say this. I've met so many people. No, that's not what I'm saying. You need to understand your menstrual cycle before you consider even having sexual intercourse. I'm not saying learn menstruation so you can go and have sex and break your virginity. No. Understand menstruation because you are a woman. And the preconceptional care is knowing what to do when you see your first menses. What drug are you supposed to be on immediately you get to puberty? If you have to break an egg, which is a mixture of tissue and blood, how do you replace that blood that joined the tissues to come out? Dieting is part of menstruation. Hello? The type of food one must eat before, during, and after menstruation is very essential. Some people don't just have mood swings. Some will lose appetite. Some will crave for other things. So these things are things that you need to know so you can say these things to your husband. This is a responsibility and a duty of a wife towards the husband. Your husband must not be fortunate like some of us that were taught menstruation together. Your husband will not be privileged to go to a school where they taught them menstruation. Even if your husband knows menstruation, your duty as a wife is to discuss menstruation with your husband. So learn it. So menstruation is when you are bleeding. Now, there is always a breakdown of a tissue mixed with blood to flow as menstruation. You can use sanitary pad, which is a modern thing now. People use tampoo. It's the one with a thread behind it. I see some people using toilet roll. Medically, the tissue that we use when they are wet, there's a way they have some particles, and it's not comfortable. Some get bruises when they use tissue. Some even get bruises when they use some particular type of menstrual pad. The reason why you want to know the type you can use is that the side effects of what you get. Some get scratches, some get bruises. A lot of things happen with people because it produces heat when the pad is there. So know the type of pad that is good to you so that your husband can buy for you. Your preconceptional care includes what to use for menstruation, how to dispose what you're using for menstruation, how to keep yourself when you are menstruating. A lot of people, I see them using Dettol and things when you are menstruating. You ask them, they said you need to use Dettol to wash your private part when you are menstruating. Whoever told you that is lying to you. Stop it now. Please, so the vagina area has its own protection. They have their own protection. So douching must be clinically supervised. Douching is a trial. Teteni ye tria ye nwana mo mba ne ginger. Akwala boni bia ye wi ne ginger akakadolo. People now even believe that when you drop your menstrual pad, they are going to use it for juju those things. I mean, get out of that thing we are talking about. One of the things that kills me is when women feel that menstrual blood is dirty. It's evil. So you yourself, you don't know how to appreciate your blood. How would your husband appreciate it? So you soil your bed by mistake overnight. Then it becomes a war at home. Let your husband understand that when you see blood on my bed, it is not filthy. Your duty is to let your husband love menstruation. Your duty is let your husband research on menstruation. Learn how to treat a wife when she's menstruating. Understand your wife's menstrual cramps and language. Understand it. But the only way I can understand is when you communicate your feelings to me. Don't assume that I should know your feelings during menstruation. Don't assume. Don't assume. I feel sad when women are menstruating and their husbands are not even aware. You cannot be a husband that you don't know your wife's menstrual cycle. Shame on you. Shame on you. And you too, the woman yourself. You don't even know your cycle. So how do you even tell your husband? Shame number 2. Be useful in marriage. Don't be useless. Be used in full. Don't be useless. Be used in full in marriage. Let your husband be proud out there because she has learned things about menstruation from you. Don't say, well, they are mad here. I don't want to hear that. Don't say some. Henceforth, let your husband understand menstruation. Why? So that the cycle will continue with the preconceptional care. So that your daughter in the house, your son in the house will understand menstruation and become supportive to the wife in future. How many husbands are proud to go and buy sanitary pads? It's sad because some wives, stubborn with bad mind, they don't even want you to buy a pad for them. I know some men are complaining. You can't buy a pad for your wife because she has chosen a particular pad which is comfortable with her. Yes, you don't even know where they sell it. A man told me one time that there was an activation that was done. I don't want to give a brand shout out, but there was an activation that was done with a particular sanitary pad, and the brand was good the way they explain it. So she bought some. He bought 2 packets. When he brought it home, what the wife did, Nyaminkwa, insult be what? Blasting be what? Now when so the one go to when I den me said to be mommy me the sad bema to mommy. Hey, get out of the foolishness. Sad dear we bema to mommy. When a man basks me sanitary pad, I feel shy. You are not serious. This is not a man. This is a husband. Get out of your foolishness. Most of you are those who are killing the men. That is why they are not supporting you. You are too low. You are no more single. You are a wife now. Enjoy the luxury. Enjoy the pampering. Pampering is not when they take you to Dubai. It's not when you go and do and buy alone. It's not when they take you to a particular hotel when you are enjoying a cozy atmosphere and the boys are serving you. It's not when they take you to go and do manicure. It's not what I'm talking about. You need to enjoy the services that your husband must render to you as a wife. Some of you have made some men become Jimmy. Because what they want to do, you are challenging them. Are you a man or a woman? Shame on you. The man brought the pad home and he said, "Counselor, I regret it. All I have to do was that I started taking it one after the other and giving it to the girls in my office. And one of the girls jumped, love it. Their wives, you can't even buy panty for them. I know the size of your buttocks. So I should be able to buy a pants for you. But you buy a pants for your own wife. She tells you, I feel shy when a man buys. I am not a man. I am your husband. You judge me, you know. Get out of the foolishness. Enjoy marriage. When you meet a man who is ready to be a husband, enjoy it. He goes to town to buy you menstrual pad, and he brings Counselor Luttrell sanitary pad, and you have not used some before. Your regular one is Sheila Sewa pad. That is what you use. You use Sewa pad. Now he has brought you Counselor Luttrell pad. How do you receive it? Hey, now where's your fee? Hey, I understand you, but how do you receive the breakthrough that the man has brought? Will you even try it and see? It won't kill you. Maybe this is your salvation. He brought you a panty liner you don't want to use because you have a brand. Yes, I respect the brand you have been using. I respect it. But he saw something that he wants to make a mistake. Collect it. And find a way to communicate, comparing your particular one, which is more thicker for you to go like the lighter one that you have. Compare and contrast. And he will understand. The next time he goes to the market, my wife needs this. I have sold sanitary pad before, so I don't have a problem. I've done activation for always before. Yes, I've done it. The things we have done, women oriented, you don't understand it. So I buy pad. Friends around me, last 2 years, I was giving pad for free. Even last December, I was supposed to do a pad activation at Orgasm Conference. We were supposed to do it 2020. There's a pad in town that they have brought it specifically so that I give it out. And I was going to cause men to buy pad for their wives. But change your character so that when your husband brings a pad home, you will not misbehave. So understand your menstrual cycle so you can explain it to your husband. So what is the menstrual cycle? It is the monthly bleeding out of the vagina of every woman, which is the breaking down egg and tissue mix through the fallopian tube into the uterus. And ready when share and so when the egg is ready and never met a spermatozoa to fertilize it or to what do you call it? Yes, I should use the word fertilize. I mean in the local, I don't want to go too medical, in the local way, so that it will make it to form a fetus. Simple. That's my illustration. When the sperm goes to cook the egg, it will not break anymore. That is where pregnancy occurs. So planned pregnancy is when you and your husband says 2012 we got married, 2013 I want you to have a child. What date? What gender? So we want to now look at your menstrual cycle. When are you supposed to get pregnant? When you are ovulating. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. August is when we want to have a child. We want the child to be born on 14th of February, or we want him to be born in the month of June. So once you want it to be born in the month of June, January, February, March, April, May, June is what? You see? Is what? 6 months. So pregnancy is equivalent to 9 months and some weeks. We count it in weeks, sorry. So it's equivalent 9 months. 36 weeks and plus. So you count your 36 weeks and you look at the month that we are in. We want to have our child to celebrate the birthday with the mother in June. We plan it. So if we want you to have a child in August, and we want to calculate, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, it's 8 months in the year. Once we want to have a child in 8 months in August, it means that we have to backdate. So if we go there, they want to do November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. We are not yet there. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So you have your 9 months, which is the 36 weeks. So it means a man must calculate to start having sexual intercourse. Once you want to have a child in the next year, August 2013, once you have planned it, you need to impregnate the woman in October 2012. I get in a picture here. So in October 2012 is when you are supposed to hit your 9 months. Now, within October, you have only 1 day to get pregnant. So you understand your menstrual cycle. So as you do January, in that month, you start, October is when we are supposed to have sex and get pregnant. So we are having sex protected in any means. Whether we are avoiding ovulation, we are using condom, we are using contraceptive, whatever method we are running our sexual life as husband and wife, we know that by October, wife must be pregnant. We have planned it. And in October, because we want to see a gender charter, we know that when my wife gets pregnant in October, so and so time on so and so day in the month of October, this is what he's going to have. He's going to have a boy, and we want a boy first. Or in October, he's going to have a girl. For that matter, this and this, the gender charter says, so we go and see the specialists. But you need to understand your menstrual cycle. So today, the duty of a wife is to let your husband understand your menstrual cycle and plan how to bring the third thing in the marriage. We have been discussing the 2 things in the marriage, towards your husband, towards your wife. Now we are veering towards the next thing that must happen, which is the next month coming to enjoy. Plan pregnancy. October, we want a child in June. So impregnate your wife in October. A husband must understand the menstrual cycle of the wife, and every individual before marriage know your sperm count. Sperm count is not known after marriage. Don't marry a man who doesn't know his sperm count. Don't. A man who doesn't know his electrophoresis, a man who doesn't know his blood group, a man that doesn't know his sperm count, he is not qualified for marriage. He's qualified for study. Then I can. You don't know your sperm count. You are waiting for who? Who are you waiting? Before I got married, I knew my sperm count because of the knowledge I had. Because I don't have preconceptional care like a woman. The opposite of preconceptional care is that a man must know the strength of his sperm. So you know your diet. So I was dieting for stronger sperm, so my sperm will be more active and stronger, because I need a sperm with a head and a tail. You can have a sperm without a tail, it will be there, it is active, but so you discharge, and your sperm is like poponsu coco ni minti, tick starch. As for my sperm, when I drop it, you see, but it's not that. They are with dead animals in it. I've seen light one with active animals, and dead one with dead animals inside. There are some sperm you see under the microscope like that. Oh my God. The sperm is so thick that you see that the spermatozoa is just there like that. Oh, move. Egyptian mummy or tafako. So when they discharge you, a towel says, only tail like a. The survival of the fittest is the sperm. Me, I am a sperm that fought to survive. So you need a sperm that will fight. The tail is fast. Hey, yeah, just cry. I greet you, DKB. Funny face. Twins, Poppy. I greet you. Funny face, sperm is twins. So a woman must understand menstruation to teach your husband. What is the menstrual cycle? I've explained. How do I know my ovulation? Is the next lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, the messages have come. Let's see if some of them are directly for me to answer. Okay, hey, Charlie, I can't even read it. The speed. Deep. Somebody says, I love this counselor. Thank you very much, Eugenia. He said, good advice. Okay, so I just want to have a question. He said, your explanation is so beautiful. Ivy, it's so beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes. You are amazing. Oh, Ivy, let the tears bring correction. Thank you so much. Marie say 120. We're calculating for me the number of eggs. So, hey, Kenneth, what we are teaching today, are you learning it? Most of our young girls don't know the menstrual cycle. I know, right? But we are supposed to teach them. It's called preconceptional care. So we are interesting. This is coming from Priscilla. And then the next one is that menstruation or period is normal vaginal bleeding. Okay, you are giving us, which occurs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So my vision was correct, Charlie. Very deep. Tilly is giving me. Ebenezer says, yeah. And I have Priscilla, no question. I just want to have a question to keep. So on point is what is coming from Selassie. He says, I see why they said if you start menstruation at an early age, you get menopause early. Makes sense now. Okay, so your menarche can disturb because you see, the menarche, which is the early stage of menstruation, when you start it, then you are calculating what menopause is, the end of menstruation. So when the eggs are finished, you have nothing to break. Calculate how many eggs are left. The only counselor standing, I'll continue standing for you, Moses. Hi, thank you very much, Priscilla. Very educative. Thank you very much, Eugenia. Counselor, go. I was okay. So, any question? Disposal is very important, Marian. Yes, I'll explain to you. So, say ovulation is when a matured egg is released from the ovary. The egg then moves down to the fallopian tube. Oh, so you're right what I'm saying. Wow, thank you. Where it's being fertilized. If a sperm are in the fallopian tube, when the egg is released, then pregnancy has occurred. Wow, thank you very much, Fatih. Oh, love you, girl. Charlie, thank you very much. I thought my head is blunt. Salute you, sir. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much, copy Jesse. So we have what again here? Say, I mean how? Okay. When our biology teacher was teaching us, we were just making noise. Thank you. Shame number 2. Fatih, some men know. We are really doing a good job. You are really doing a good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our husband doesn't want to know. Yeah, they want because you didn't introduce it to them. Introduce it to them. Your husband must know. Hey, my wife's menstrual cycle. Even the girls around me visit my office. If you visit my office at my element, I will teach you menstruation like Coco. Next week, because Friday is a holiday tomorrow. Next week, I'm going to teach you ovulation. When you can get pregnant, when you can have sex without pregnant, the activeness of the sperm and everything. I was just coming here to see if you have questions. That's why I have to pause. As if the man buys it. As if the man buys it, is the blood will stop flowing. They are afraid that the men will buy. Some of them are buying expensive sanitary pad, and they don't want their husbands to know that the money they collect for the sanitary pad itself is not that way. This is Evelyn. Evelyn Chega say, get out of your foolishness. You will kill me, your counselor. Don't die, my dear. If you die, it's bad. Well said. Thank you. Say it again. Oh, thank you very much, Salome. And yes, indeed, Fatih. Thank you so much, Fatih. Thank you very much. Thank you very much once again, Eugenia. Thank you very much. Who is ready to be a husband? I like that word. Thank you very much. Okay. You have to try it and see. Try what and see. Okay. Maybe Fatih was discussing something. Say, wow, some husbands buying parts. Yes, I buy part. Even for friends, how much more my wife? I was buying part before I got married, though. Hey, my people, my sisters, hey, Charlie, I had a mother, oh, Charlie. That's what I'm saying. Let's raise husbands. Teach your children now. Teach them part. Send your small boy to go and buy you parts. Say you are buying something. You shouldn't feel shy. People are being shy to buy condom. They want to buy condom. They are nonsense. Go to the market and buy some sanitary pad for your wife. You to be ready to send your husband for pad. Honey, please, can you buy me a pad when you're coming for a show? Hey! Now when can you say, hey, massa, and now you use you to come on the job, oh, then mbano so comes me dribble, maybe too much. Some women think the man, some women think the man is a fool. Even when they touches them during their menstrual period, or even when the man touches the part. Yes, I know. You can have sex during menstruation. And I'll tell you the benefit next week. Did I say it? Hey! There are a lot of benefits when you have sex with a woman who is bleeding. Hey, assemble si okromu ajodlu thought. My husband do buy parts. Wow. What is your husband's name? Let me give him high five. Wow. Nyakwa. Sandra says the husband has been buying the parts. Salute my husband. Thank for that. I am really learning today. Look, every day. Thank your husband for buying you part and enjoy it. Hey, enjoyment. Thank you for the teaching, especially we those who are not yet married. God richly bless you. Oh, thank you very much. Peace. I release a good husband for you. Come for counseling before you start dating. So that you don't bring something home. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm late. We are closing. We can watch it on YouTube. Yes, you can watch on YouTube. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Rosalind says, ha. Okay. No question for menstruation. That's what I was looking for. Laugh enter bush. Which of the bush? Kenneth. What again? Boss, please. I didn't hear a question. Okay. I want leave, sisters. I just love it. Counselor, you will not kill me. Don't die now, please. If you die, it's not good. What is this one? Is it a dancing? Fatih is clapping for us. Okay. So there's no question about this. Okay. Team Pampa. Eric says team Pampa. Okay. Jennifer says, I am watching live from America. I love this man too much. Thank you for loving me too much, Jennifer. God bless you so much. Okay, so that is where we are. Hey, I am late. Thank you very much, Nanakosuya. You are late, Papa B. Go and watch on YouTube. Let's start. Oh no, we've started a long time. Please, is it normal? These are questions I want to answer. Is it normal for a girl to menstruate at 9 years? Yes. The youngest mother that I met was 9 years. She delivered twins, and it's on record, I think in Ghana. Yes. My wife says feel more honey during menstrual period. So she wants us to make love. But I think it's biblically wrong. No. There is nothing biblically wrong. Fire to reduce menstrual cramps. I'm going to teach you how to have sex during menstruation. Kwa? Onapo. My brother Eric, call me behind the scenes. Let me teach you. Let your wife enjoy. And when you make, look, Charlie, I don't want to start it today. I'm ending, so I won't start. Eric, so call me behind the scene. Okay. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Akosia says, Daddy, please, let's do some recap, please. Oh, Akosia, go to YouTube because I'm closing. They'll cut me off just now. They say I should be able to do 1 hour. Okay, so come early. Okay, well done. God bless you. All right, Dorothy, thank you so much. Ebenezer say, love it. Please recap. Akosia, don't do that, my love. Go to YouTube. I beg you, Akosia, I beg you. I'll drop it for YouTube right now for you, okay? God bless you, counselor. I just say he buys for me and our girls. Oh, Mr. Kumi, thank you very much for buying for Adwa. Adwa, use it well. Okay, you to use it wisely. Thank you very much. Use it wisely. Look, I mean, some women are suffering. Oh, I have a sweetheart whose bleeding is so high that she uses diapers. So painful, Charlie. I don't know. I don't know. It's so painful, when she's bleeding, her menstrual cycle, when she's going to have a menses, you see her, you cry for a very beautiful girl. She has to use diapers. But thanks be to God, we are working on it. I brought her to the hospital. We have to do some surgery, Charlie. You don't know why I love women, though. You don't know why what they go through. Menstruation is not an easy thing. Let your husband understand it, and if you can. Jane, I have Watsima here. Hi, counselor. Thank you, my dear. Please, can I call you, counselor? Oh, yeah, 0277-609-644 is the number, and we are wrapping up. So, counselor, the cramps issues is true. I know, but I can help you. Next week, I'm going to teach you how to deal with cramps. It's very easy, and it works. People pay for me to teach them, but I'm going to teach my class how to do it. And if you want more details, you come back to the office. Religion is the problem now. That's how religion looks down on women. Please, religion doesn't look down on women. Women look down on themselves. Religion has given you a position. Enjoy the position. Asa. But you are rising to become what you are not supposed to be by religion. And only problem. No. Onapo can't wait for this topic. Okay, thank you very much. Fucking doing menstrual. Menu Gladys says, wow, I am enjoying this lesson. God bless you, Daddy. I am watching you live from then. Istaba. The countries, I know pronunciation is wrong. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So we have learned that it's your duty to explain your menstrual cycle to your husband so that your childbirth will not become a problem. But before you explain, you need to learn it. Menstruation is not a sin. It's not evil. Your husband should be able to buy you sanitary pad. Qualified husbands buy sanitary pad. Qualified wife receive sanitary pad. They don't bluff with sanitary pad. 0277-609-644. It's been yours truly, your class teacher. It's been lovely. For those of you who said we need to have something they call Cash App. So Cash App, all you need to do is to go to of Fran's number. So to do Cash App, is it Cash App? Or Fran, my president, if she's there, can you post what they are supposed to do for the Cash App? Can you post it right now on the page? If you are there, or Fran. I know they say it's Cash App, app. So Cash App, you need to do or Fran. Our Cash App is the name of our president, and the Ofran is OFRAN, Ofran, sorry. That's what I was told. Ofran. So Ofran is the name. You write the name, Cash App name, and then the number is 862-862-215-2007. So 862-215-2007. So Cash App. Our Cash App is what I've posted there for you. So Cash App is Ofran 862-215-2007 is how they do it. So mobile number for Councillor Lutrot has always been 0277609644. This is my phone number. Directly you can get it. So they will drop it down for you there for you to understand. So anybody who wants to get in touch with us and our foundation, Councillor Lutrot Foundation for Health, Diabetes and Asthma, Cerebral Palsy, and we say you can support us. We have a lot of people that we are doing. We have a lady who is going to school, as I told you the last time, 2,800 Ghana cedis. There are two people. One is just doing a trade. The other one is going to go to 2,820 Ghana cedis. We've got 400 Ghana cedis now. Any amount you want to support us with, you can send it to our Momo account 055-000-5077. They'll drop it for you. 055-000-5077. 055-000-5077 is our Momo account, or our Vodafone cash 0507-150-223. 0507-150-223 863 is our Vodafone cash. Or if you are using Zelle, the Zelle account in the United States of America is also 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. Let me say a big thank you to all my team members. Let me say a big thank you to Jane Nanama Asantua. A big thank you to our president in the United States of America for our foundation. She is in the person of Ya Ofran, and she's our president in New Jersey. Our vice president, Mrs. Gloria Kwesing, and our director of finance, Dr. Kwesing. Our logistics manager, Ike Donko, and our publicity and media director, Mr. CNN. Not forgetting in Ghana, our one and only supporters we have here. We have the co-founder, Abigail Lutrot, who is a Mrs. She's a co-founder here in Ghana. We have our chairperson, Mr. Amadou, in Ghana. And then we also have what we call Josephine Baden, who is also a supporter of they supports us very, very well. And in America, our senior patron and one of our financial directors is in the person of Miss Adelaide Quarty. Ladies and gentlemen, I brought you all this long thing. So they will drop down for you the details you want for the mobile money to support us and give us your help. We want to buy a 65-inch television set for 4 different hospitals. Those of you who want to support us, please do. So they've dropped for you the foundation support, and do as good as you just saw it, and let's support those who are in need. God bless you. I'm out of here for now. Class is over. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, subscribe to Counselor Lutrot. Let's make the class better. Remember, very soon you'll see Council Lut Television. Is the same Counselor Lutrot page. We are going to launch it very, very soon so that the class will become okay. And in that class, in the bar, the doctors will come and teach you deeper things. The nurses will come into that class. We are going to lecture. I'll bring you fetish free for you to understand what libation pouring is all about. Do you understand what I'm talking about? God bless you so much. Live long. Love yourself. Say thank you to your husband when he buys you a sanitary pad. I want to leave you here. Good night. Subscribe to my YouTube. Go and watch the YouTube channel, all the lectures that we have done. Stay blessed. Thank you for being here. Tilly, thank you so much. Bye. 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 Constance. Bye.